And welcome to the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. 2 weeks ago we were here to see Roma enjoy a famous victory against Juventus. Today it's the turn of two other of Serie A's big names, Lazio against Inter. Now both of these clubs were touted for great things at the start of the season, but both have been off to a bit of a wobbly start. Last weekend Lazio came a cropper against Cremonese, while Inter went down at Cagliari, as a result of which both fans and a rabid press pack are ready to declare a crisis for whoever is unlucky enough to lose this afternoon. It's tense stuff. Kickoff is just under a quarter of an hour away. So now for the rest of the lowdown on the showdown, let's go across to Kenneth Wolstenholme.
Last December, Lazio beat Inter 3-1 and put on a second-half show which was perhaps the goal-scoring performance of the season.
Great pass from Signori Fuser in for Victor! Oh, fabulous goal! Signori, and always this threat that they'll get caught again. Inter, Signori, who has pace and he has finish. Bursting clear, and another one! Oh, that's another fabulous goal. That's 13 now for Signori this season.
Inter finished the season in second place, Lazio fifth. Both were tipped as possible champions this year. Today the sides meet again at the Olympic Stadium 1 month into the current campaign, but neither are living up to their pre-season billing. Lazio coach Dino Zoff spent the summer shoring up one of the most generous defences in Serie A, signing goalkeeper Luca Marchegiani and fullback Paolo Negro. The investment appears to have paid off. At this stage last season, Lazio had already conceded 7 goals. This year, it's just 2. However, 4 games into last season, Lazio were also unbeaten. But 7 days ago, Zoff's team faltered at newly promoted Cremonese. It was the season's first big shock result. A 1-0 defeat and one of Serie A's most potent attacks seems to have lost its teeth. Indeed, despite the signing of Italy's first-choice target man, Gigi Casiraghi, Lazio have scored just twice in the league this season, failing to find the net in 3 of their opening 4 fixtures. Last season, another new face enjoyed the kind of start that Casiraghi might have been dreaming of. Beppe Signori scored 4 times in his first 4 outings for Lazio and finished the season as Serie A's top goalscorer. An ankle injury kept Signori out of the opening matches of the current campaign, but in midweek he returned, renewing his international partnership with Casiraghi. And the pairing brought immediate results. Casiraghi scored his first goal for his new club as Lazio beat Plovdiv Bulgaria 2-0 in the UEFA Cup. Zoff can also take heart from a pre-season result when Lazio beat Inter 3-0, including a goal from you-know-who. Gaza, if fit, will form part of one of Serie A's most creative midfields this afternoon. This could also prove a real threat to Inter. Like Zoff, Osvaldo Bagnoli began the season without last season's top striker, 20-goal Uruguayan Ruben Sosa, who was away on World Cup duty in South America. In the opening exchanges of the season, multi-million-pound signing Dennis Bergkamp made his mark. But it was Calcio's forgotten superstar who made the headlines. 3 years ago, Toto Schillaci had the world at his feet. The little-known Sicilian striker was Italia 90's top goalscorer. Then things went wrong. 3 seasons on, and just 17 goals later, it appeared that 28-year-old Schillaci would never repeat that world-beating form. However, with US 94 less than a year away, Toto's back. With 3 goals in 4 games, he's staking a claim for a return to the international stage. But 7 days ago, not even Schillaci could save Inter from an embarrassing defeat at Cagliari, a game which saw Sosa make his first start of the season. In midweek, Bagnoli returned Dennis Bergkamp to the starting lineup, having relegated the Dutch superstar to the bench for the game in Sardinia. He repaid the coach with a stunning hat-trick, which gave Inter a winning start to their UEFA Cup campaign. Sosa is again away on World Cup duty with Uruguay and won't be able to stake his claim for a regular place until his return next week. With Bergkamp and Schillaci in such impressive form, Bagnoli has an embarrassment of riches up front. But while Inter appear to have few problems in attack, their recovery from last week's first league defeat of the campaign is certain to be affected by the loss of Nicola Berti. Quite simply, Berti is irreplaceable. As creative as he is hard-working, the 26-year-old midfield powerhouse sustained a ligament injury 10 days ago. This will keep him out for most of the season. The focus now falls on the Dutch new boy, Wim Jonk, who must up his work rate and improve on some lackluster early performances if he's to fill the gaping hole that Berti's injury has left in Inter's midfield. This afternoon, Lazio will be hoping to close the huge historical gap between the sides. Down the years, Inter have dominated this fixture, but things have been much closer in recent times, as the current league situation shows. Both sides will be looking for 2 points today to get themselves back amongst the front runners. Join us after the break for our biggest game of the season so far, Lazio versus Inter live.
Welcome back to the Stadio Olimpico for Lazio against Inter. Just before kick-off, time for our usual chat about the weather. And I know that I've said for the last 3 weeks that it's been hot, but today it really is unbelievably hot. We had a projected temperature this morning of 90 degrees, clear blue skies. Despite that, as you can see, around 50,000 people have chosen not to go to the beach, but instead to join us here at the Stadio Olimpico. And I think that's a wise decision, also because, as you may be able to see in the background, the sky is actually now clouded over. There's some dark clouds on the horizon and a strong possibility of rain coming up later. Now, today's match is a very important one for the two coaches, Lazio's Dino Zoff and Osvaldo Bagnoli of Inter. The knives are out for these two in both Milan and Roma. It may only be the 5th week of the season, but the Italian press have decided that whoever loses today faces being out of the race for this year's championship. It really is a ruthless business in Serie A. How did English bookies see today's game? Well, once again, they plumped for a draw as the most likely result. 6-4 the odds there. They rate Inter's chances of a victory 15-8, with Lazio slightly better at 13-8. Now here's what's slightly more interesting. First player to score. They have a draw between Dennis Bergkamp and Giuseppe Signori at 6-1, and I think we can understand that. Looking further down the list, there's Paul Gascoigne at 10-1. And you can see actually the roar that just greeted the announcement of his name here at the Olimpico. Gascoigne really is the new sensation of the day here. He pulled out of Lazio's last game against Cremonese last Sunday. He's missed training all week with a thigh injury. And then yesterday came what the papers are now calling the miracle of Gaza. He didn't appear to three virgins in a vision or anything, but he did turn up for a training game with Lazio and in fact did enough to warrant his inclusion in the squad. He's going to be playing today. It's excellent news. Now for the rest of the lineup news, let's join our match commentators, Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon, everyone. And every prospect you would think then today of a richly entertaining contest. Great players with reputations on the line as two of Serie A's finest unveil their respective talents in front of this large and very enthusiastic crowd in the Olympic Stadium. Gaza plays then. His thigh injury has healed sufficiently for him to start in his regular number 10 shirt, linking with Signori, who's playing his first league game of the season. This alongside Casiraghi, the new man from Juventus. There's a change at the back with Marco Lin, surprisingly replacing the injured Favoli. Fuser is out. That's a big blow for Lazio. He's injured. He'll certainly miss his foraging runs wide on the right. Now, look at the Inter side. No Ruben Sosa. He's away with Uruguay. Schillaci out injured. So the partnership up front is Bergkamp and Fontelan, who has been playing at left back. Tramazzani has that role today with Wim Jonk, the other Dutchman, restored to the midfield after being dropped for last week's game at Cagliari. Lazio, who've stumbled through the early matches, really will expect to raise their game a notch or two now that Signori is back. He's a finisher of the very highest quality, of course, whilst Inter, a side bristling with star names from at home and abroad, will be just as anxious to reassert themselves as championship contenders after that upset last week at Cagliari. So, alongside me then in the commentary position is Ray Wilkins. And Ray, there's a lot to look forward to in this one.
Yes, it really does appear to be a classic match. Great to see Paul Gascoigne playing and Signori for Lazio. Both sides had very disappointing results last week, and they really want to put that right. If you look at Lazio from 7 forward, Vinter, Dol, Casiraghi, Gascoigne, Signori, there's got to be some good attacking football. Really players of the highest quality. And I honestly feel if Lazio use that front five to the best of their ability. There's no reason why they shouldn't give Inter a very, very difficult afternoon.
Dennis Bergkamp, our first view of him on a live Sunday game. What are you expecting of him today?
Well, Bergkamp is a proven quality. We saw his hat-trick there at the start of the show. It's absolutely fantastic in midweek. He really is a player of high quality, and he breaks from deep, which is a position which a lot of players aren't picked up from. And I'm sure we can see him bursting through the penalty box on a number of occasions. A very dangerous customer.
Well, we got a glimpse there of Paul Gascoigne. Looks in reasonable shape. What do you make of him, though, these days, Ray?
It's nice to see Paul playing again. It's vitally important for himself and for English football that Paul's out on the football field and playing in such distinguished company as well. I'm sure that he's fully fit. He performed 90 minutes there for England, so there's no reason why he shouldn't keep performing for Lazio for 90 minutes.
Well, Dino's off. Certainly left it late before confirming that Gaza was in the lineup today. And he's left out Di Mauro, who's among the substitutes, and also Bacci, who we had expected to be one of the defenders for Lazio, but he's brought in Marco Lin, who's been seeking a transfer and has been very much out of favour with Dino's off, so it's certainly a surprise to see him in the Lazio side. Lazio in the lighter blue shirts, attacking the goal to our left. Laid off then by Aaron Winter, who has certainly been the most successful of the foreigners with Lazio over the past season, and the new one as well. Gascoigne's rather casual pass. Lazio with just one win so far. Inter have had 2 successes, but of course both stunned last week by their away defeats. This is Marco Lin taking the throw. Free kick to Inter, the pre-season championship favourites. Kick taken by Battistini.
Yes, I think there's no question about it, Peter. When they get all their players fit, they're going to have a really, really strong squad. Ferry is a vitally important player for them. Berti, unfortunately, has got knee ligament problems, so he won't be playing for quite a while. But when they've got a fully fit squad, they're going to be very hard to beat.
And interesting to see that back on the bench today for Inter is Bianchi, the Italian international. He's been out since January, like Riccardo Ferri, and has made sufficient progress to earn his place among the substitutes, so we may well see him in action later on. A man that Sacchi, the Italian national coach, says is one of the first he puts on his team sheet.
I'm not surprised either. He's a super player. He gets up and down the right flank very well indeed, and covers back in defensive positions as well. Very vital member of both sides.
This is Tramazzani taking the free kick then for Inter. And safely gathered by Marchegiani, who's the world's most expensive goalkeeper since his signing from Torino. They certainly needed to tighten things up at the back. Lazio conceded far too many goals last season. Very adventurous side. Dino's off. Too many goals were being conceded. Winter. Really hot afternoon in Rome. And it's going to be taxing for the players, certainly later on. Now, Gravero, the sweeper. Free kick forward. Scored twice already for Lazio this season. Matteo's mistake. Thomas Doll. Really exciting player, Doll. It's a big season for him. He was under some pressure last season since the return to fitness of Gascoigne. And of course, the outstanding form too of Aaron Winter, who was also keeping him out of the side on occasions. Long ball played by Jonk in search of Bergkamp. Winter. Marchegiani, who's the number 2 now in the Italian rankings, as it were, behind Pagliuca of Sampdoria. Doll. This is Winter. Now Fontaine. Didn't have the pace, though, to get away from Luzzari, who was a hard and very determined defender. And rather too abrasive at times. 9 yellow cards last season, Luzzari. A couple of sendings off as well.
I think that's the third time that we've seen Bergkamp get back and rob the Lazio team. He's very sharp of mind. His first couple of yards are in the head. He thinks very quickly. And he's been on to a couple of loose passes that have been going about in the Lazio defence. If they don't watch it, I'm sure we'll punish them.
Ramazzani organising the free kick. There with him is Wim Jonk, who has a venomous shot from long range. And there is Jonk. Not this time, though. He has scored some explosive goals in the past, certainly in big games for Ajax in their UEFA Cup triumph a couple of seasons ago.
You see lots of free kicks on the programme from that sort of distance. They don't actually try anything else. They've got these guys in their team that want to have a shot, and they'll shoot no matter how far out it is. I often wonder whether they would be advised at times to try something else, especially Lazio. Lazio now have the ingredient of Casaraghi in the air, he's a fantastic header of the ball, so let's see if they switch their tactics around a little bit.
Moved forward then by Luzzari. Nicone. Tramazzani. Now Nicone, who plays in this filter role, the anchor role, in the interside.
I think Di Matteo has been brought in the Lazio side to do exactly the same as well, Peter. He seems to be the one anchoring, and the other guys are pressing forward.
Way by Marco Lid. Now here's Gascoigne. Roar of anticipation from the Lazio fans in the stadium. They love him here. As they do when he's fit, he's playing well. Clavero. Now Winter. Model of consistency, Aaron Winter for Lazio. Now Doll. Clavero. Again getting forward for Lazio. Now Luzzari. Marcolin. Here's Gaza. With the strength then to hold off the first challenge. It was going nowhere, really. Orlando for Inter. Well, as far as Clavero, who's seen plenty of the ball in the early stages. Now Gascoigne, it's his dribbling skill that excites the crowds in Italy. Fontaine.
It really is an unbelievable area of anticipation when Gaza gets the ball. You can actually hear the noise that they make when he gets it. He's a very popular lad here in Rome.
Bergkamp hopes to be equally popular with the Inter fans. Trying to link with his former Ajax teammate, Wim Jonk. Difficult ball then for Battassini to deal with, and he managed well enough. Fontaine, who, as I mentioned earlier on, had been playing at left back in this side. D'Agostini having now departed for Reggiana. Gascoigne lashing into the tackle, and it was a bit wild. Hope we don't see too many of those from Gaza today. He does lose his head sometimes.
I think the ball was there to be won, actually. He went in for the sliding tackle, but Bergkamp was very, very sharp and just dragged the ball away from him, and it looked a worse tackle than it actually was. And it's good to see players just get up like Bergkamp. He's got his free kick and he's up on his feet and ready to play.
Tramazzani hovering over the free kick. Shot to it through, but again, well off the target from Bergkamp. Been some speculation about the role that Bergkamp would play. I think initially Bagnoli had planned to play him up front with Ruben Sosa this season, and Schillaci, there would have been no place for him, but Schillaci's been playing so well before his injury, I think it's caused a bit of a rethink. And a feeling too, Ray, that his best position, Bergkamp, may be just behind the front two.
Yes, I think from the games that we've actually seen of Bergkamp playing for Ajax and for Holland, he does appear to prefer coming just off the front two, where he gets that little bit more room so he can make his runs from. But actually playing up there with his back to goal could be something new for him.
This is Tramazzani. Giving it away, though, to Winter. Good awareness shown then by the Dutchman. Now, Signori, our first real glimpse of him. He has tremendous pace. And, of course, a lethal shot, too, as his 26 goals last season will testify. Fontalan. Tackled by Negro, another of the new faces on the Lazio side. Came from Brescia. Dole. Well, that's good skill by Dole. Casaraghi! Only just wide.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great run from Thomas Dole. He's run all of 50 yards there and put Casaraghi through. The interesting thing to note is once that Dole actually reaches the edge of the penalty area, if we're lucky enough to see it again, we're not going to see it again, he makes a fabulous little diagonal run and manages to get in his shot. There's his little run going in there, and he just can't steer it inside the near post. But that was super football from Lazio.
And the Italian coach, Arrigo Sacchi, may well favour the front pair of Casiraghi and Signori for the forthcoming World Cup tie against Estonia. That appears to be his first choice, so we'll be watching with great interest today the performance of Casiraghi in tandem with Signori. Gascoigne wanting to get involved now. Dole. Gascoigne. Disappointing finish from Casiraghi.
Gascoigne's showing great strength there. That's the strength of Gazza. When he's running with the ball, he holds people off so well. And just laying a little ball there for Casiraghi, but unfortunately he couldn't get it on the target. But Gazza started well. He's been involved in the game from the start. It's nice to see. He wants to get hold of the ball and get involved.
Here's Manaconi then for Inter. A tremendous run towards the end of last season. Inter just one defeat in 21 games. Not quite enough to overhaul Milan at the top, such had been their lead. But they did finish the season very impressively, Inter, and hoping to build on that this time around. Di Matteo there, now Marcolin. Gascoigne. Rivero. Wide of him is Dole. Winter. Dole again. Gascoigne. Blocked out of the other with consummate ease by Walter Zenga. Such an experienced goalkeeper. 33 years old now, Walter Zenga. And still very much a fixture in the Inter side. Manacone. Wide to Tramazzani. Fontalan has made the run down the middle. This is Shalimov. Played in by Manacone. Rivero, though, was in the way, and it's Gascoigne back to Marchegiani. Warmly applauded by the Lazio fans. They'll cheer everything he does, I think. A bit like Ray Wilkins at QPR yesterday. I was lucky enough to see Ray in action. I did wave to you a couple of times from the stand. You didn't wave back.
I should have been able to. There weren't that many people there, actually, Peter. Yeah.
You didn't appear to be busy, so I don't know why you didn't.
But there we saw the other option there for Lazio. The ball pumped forward. Casiraghi's very good using his chest and his head. And I wonder if we'll see a lot more of it, because he's got exceptional heading ability.
Here's Dole. Now Winter. Endeavouring to link with Casiraghi, who's taken over Riedler's role up front for Lazio. Gascoigne was looking to parade his skills. Flicked on then by Dole. Now Marcolin has got a good left foot. Winter. Lazio pressing into back here. Gascoigne. Oh, beautiful ball to Signori. Oh, Zenga furious with the marking, but what a pass then by Paul Gascoigne. Tremendous vision.
Absolutely, Peter. That really was a class of quality. They gave Gazza a lot of room on the ball. He was only about 40 yards out from goal, and you give him that room, he's going to pick people out. And there's Signori pulling off the shoulders of the inter-defence. And unfortunately, not to get it even on target. Probably still a bit ring rusty, Signori. He's been out quite a while, so it's nice to see him back anyway.
I was going to say, you'd fancy him to have scored that one last season.
I think last season there was no question about it, Peter. That would have been in the back of the net. But that was a great pass from Gazza.
Just acknowledging the cheers of the crowd then, Paul Gascoigne. Oh, there's danger here. Casiraghi making a real nuisance of himself. Trapattani could spoil this for Lazio. Tenth place in the table. Lazio, Inter up in 7th. Just a 1 point between the two teams. Torino and Milan, the early pace setters. Milan today at home to Roma. Parma are Torino's opponents. Parma the home side. Trapattani. Up by Luzzati. There's Jonk, now then to Orlando. Will certainly be under pressure now that Bianchi's back. Orlando, who's filled his role well, though, over the past few months. Bergami, a pretty ruthless defender. And Casiraghi certainly took the full brunt of that challenge. Fabio Baldas, the referee today. One of the best in Serie A. A man who knows how to keep control. Gascoigne with the free kick then for Lazio, who've started promisingly. 15 minutes gone. Free kick to Inter this time. Bergami, who seems to have been around forever, but still only in his late 20s, played, of course, for the Italians in the World Cup finals, an 18-year-old back in 1982. When Ray was just a lad.
But of course, he's a super player, is Bergami. He's been one of the best markers, or man-to-man markers around for many, mmany years, not only in Italian football, but in world football.
Signori almost linked up then with Gascoigne. Well read, though, by Bergami. And the Inter captain able to come forward now, linking with Shalimov. This is Jonk. Some competition between the two. Jonk and Shalimov for a place in Inter's midfield this season. This is Marcolin. Asking too much, though, really, of Signori. Well, who would have thought that was going to happen?
My word, what a strange header. Zenga, in actual fact, gets a little bit too close. I think it was Paganin who actually heads it over his head. He got a little bit too close to him, and Paganin's going to lift it over for a corner.
Now Signori weaving past the tackles. So hard to get the ball off. Play on, says the referee. Off goes Manicone. Lazio's turn to funnel back now. Shalimov. This is Jonk. Agostini. Bergkamp's in the middle, so is Fontelan. Fontelan winning it too, and pushed in by Bergkamp. And the free kick indeed given to Lazio. Foul on Luzzati. Here's Gascoigne. Winter. Now then for Dole. Gascoigne at the heart of it all. It's Dole. Now Casiraghi. To survive.
But Thomas Dole really does look a good player, Peter, doesn't he? When he gets on the ball, he's very, very comfortable.
This is Bergkamp. Marco Gianni kept his eye on that one and had to. Really good goalkeeping by Marco Gianni, who, like many of the modern-day goalkeepers in Serie A, is very adept on crosses. Took that one very cleanly.
It was up in there a long time. It gave him a good chance to come and get it. But in saying that, he's got to come out and get those.
Forward by Jonk to Fontelan. Now Crivero. One of the best sweepers in the business. And if Baresi hadn't been around, Crivero would have had a few caps for the Italians, I'm sure.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, Peter. He's really been a super player, not only for Torino, but Lazio as well. And it's only the quality of Baresi that really has limited his opportunities.
Di Matteo to Crivero. Now Negro. Good work again by Gascoigne. Dole to Vinter. Now Crivero. Good build up here by Lazio. And Crivero with the people wasting the pass. Very unlike him. Fontelan. Is Jonk. Well, I praised him for his shooting earlier, but he's lost his sights at the moment in this game.
Yes, he hasn't really managed to get into the game up to now, as Jonk. It's a difficult time for him. We've got Di Matteo in the middle of the field. He's blocking all his runs that he's coming forward. And I think they're going to limit him to hitting shots from around about 30 yards.
Vinter to Gascoigne. Gazza playing with a lot of confidence. Finding Signori. Now Dole. Gascoigne again. With Vinter. Now what could Gazza do here? Well, he was certainly going to go past Manicone until he was fouled. He does have so much strength, Gazza, when he just bursts past players.
I think he was having a bit of a conversation with Signori, the fact that he didn't show for him. He was looking to bounce it off someone on the edge of the box and perhaps get a 1-2 and get a shot in. But no one was showing, and unfortunately he was brought down. But this does seem an awful long way out to have a shot. I don't care who you are, this is a long way out.
Well, Signori is there. And we've seen in the past what he could do from free kicks. He's only a little man, but there's a fair old shot in his boots. Hardly any backlift from Signori. Anyway, not this time. It's laid off instead, and whacked over the bar. Di Matteo.
I'm surprised they hit that from that sort of distance. They've got the other option of Casaraghi. It was there was a nice little angle on the free kick as well. It might have been a good option just to float one into the box and see what Casaraghi's made of.
Di Matteo, who's come from Aarau in Switzerland, the champions in the Swiss League. And the early news of his form has been encouraging. Gascoigne remonstrating with the referee at the moment. Forward by Tramezzani. Fontelan. Important game this for Fontelan, playing in his more favoured position up front. But he knows they have Sosa to come back and Schillaci too. Crivero. Cut out by Orlando. Bogomi. This is Jonk. Now Manicone. Shalimov. Haven't seen too much of him so far. But a very talented player and a useful goal scorer too. Manicone. Inter breaking from their defensive shell. Shalimov. Now there could be something on here. In towards Bergkamp. Orlando. Now Jonk to Shalimov. Period of possession here for Inter. But no way past the Lazio defence, and it's Gascoigne. Lovely skill on the ball. Up to Casaraghi. And he wanted too long.
Yeah, that was the best bit of play we've seen from Inter for a while. It was nice football, good early passing, nice movement. Unfortunately, it never ended in a shot at goal or a cross in, and that's a little bit disappointing. The game seems to fizzle out at the moment when it's getting to either box.
Oh, Bergkamp. There won't be a chance on here. Bergkamp holding off Marco Lin. And the free kick wasn't given. Orlando. Back off Luzardi. Bergkamp still complaining to the referee, who was not interested in his appeal. Bogomi. Hoping to find Bergkamp. Winter away. Now then for Marco Lin, who's more of a midfield player, really, rather than a left back, but that's his position today. Signori.
Interesting with Bergkamp this season to see if he can reach and also maintain the standards that Hulit, Van Basten and Rijkaard reached. He's come out of a type of football without being disrespectful to Dutch football. You don't really get tested week in and week out, and it will be very interesting to see if he can maintain his standard of performance.
104 goals and 185 league games for Bergkamp, playing for Ajax, but as Ray's saying there, it's a different quality of football. Only really half a dozen or so big matches a season. Now Crivero, Winter, getting it away from Paganin. Yes, but not from Trapazzani. Winter, of course, an old teammate of Bergkamp's, along with Wim Jonk. And the referee says, hurry up. Goal had made the run. Winter wasn't interested. Gascoigne. Oh, terrific skill. Still Gascoigne. Well, he almost got through. Fabulous work on the ball then from Paul Gascoigne. And the crowd loved it. But now Inter breaking menacingly. Trapazzani to Fontalan. And what a good saving tackle by Di Matteo.
That was absolutely marvellous skill from Paul Gascoigne. He did actually have the opportunity to get his shot in. But following that incident, there's been another one, and Bergkamp has been elbowed in the face by Luzardi. As they were running back, or Bergkamp was running forward to get involved in the game, he was elbowed in the face by Luzardi.
Yeah, some concern being shown by certainly the referee and by Zenga, who's come up to have a look as well. And Bergkamp will clearly need some attention here. Excitement in both goal mouths. And how about that one from Gaza?
It was great stuff. Winter was really struggling. Thomas Dolan made a couple of runs for him on the throw-in to help him out, but he didn't feel he should give him the ball. Gaza made a run of 40-odd yards, picked the ball up, and then just took on 4 defenders. He went past a lot of them. He did have the opportunity, as I said before, to get in a shot. But he fainted again, went past the next defender, and the recovering defender was the one that got back at him. But it was really great stuff from Paul.
Well, Bergkamp still looking rather dazed, and it was his front-running partner, Fontalan, who had the chance at the other end after Gascoigne's run. And it was a marvellous tackle by Di Matteo to deny him the chance. Bergkamp surprisingly left out then for the defeat by Cagliari last week, but he was back in style with a hat-trick in Europe in the week.
And what a goal the second one was in particular. Absolutely marvellous technique on the volley. The ball came in from the right-hand side, he volleyed it back into the far corner. Really great goal. But he still looks a bit groggy, doesn't he, walking forward?
Certainly does. This is Orlando with the corner. Jonk. Now Trapazzani. Inter not committing too many players forward on the corner itself, in terms of being in the penalty box anyway. There's Casaraghi now. Pretty awful pass though, which didn't really please Signori too much.
Yeah, dreadful pass, wasn't it? He had plenty of ground in which to move forward in, and he tried to pick out Signori. It was a dreadful pass.
Jonk turning it on to Orlando. Gascoigne. Foul by Bergkamp. Gazza, to his credit, just gets straight on with it. This is Marcolin. Di Matteo. Not too much support for him here. Can he get his cross in?
Well, that was dreadful, wasn't it? You know, Di Matteo's gone down the line. He's helped out his fullback, Marcolin, and no one's gone across and given him a hand. That was atrocious play from Lazio.
Marcolin. Fontolan. It was a very expensive signing, £5 million from Genoa 3 years ago. Then he had a whole season out through injury, Fontolan. Didn't really get a regular place last season either.
Both teams look a bit edgy, don't they? There's a few challenges flying about now. It's good to see the game played hard and fast, but we don't want anything outside the boundaries of the rules.
Threw it by York, and the flag was up. That won't count, but Bergkamp tucks it in anyway. And he's going to get a ticking off from the referee.
I think he's very unlucky. I think he's done the centre-half there with a neat little turn. It was a great finish as well. I know the referee's whistle had blown, but he tucked it in very nicely. Here we see the ball being played through by Jonk. I don't think he even touched the defender. It was a nice little turn.
Tempers just beginning to flare a little. So much at stake in this game, albeit early season. Two teams with a lot to prove to their respective supporters. No goals in this game, half an hour gone. No goals anywhere in Serie A this afternoon.
Very unusual, quiet afternoon this time, Peter. Huh?
Plenty in your game yesterday, it could have been plenty more as well.
It could have been plenty more. Jan Staes had a marvellous match for us, and we just managed to claw ourselves back with a good Les Ferdinand goal.
My taxi driver was very impressed. He voted you his player of the month for July.
That was my father, Peter.
Orlando scrapping with Marcolin. Bogomi, Anacone. And Inter, having weathered that earlier storm from Lazio, beginning to ask a few questions themselves now. Shalimov. Towards Bergkamp. Up in the air. Bogomi. Orlando. Now Shalimov. Touch off by Fontolan. He's not able to shift it back to Marco Gianni. Dole. Di Matteo. Looking for Signori. So there was Bergomi shadowing him. Some success too so far.
Yes, I think the problem that Lazio have at the moment, once the ball gets up front, is coming straight back again. The ball's got to be retained in the Inter half, so people can get up and join them. But the ball seems to be bouncing straight back. Signori and Casarani really aren't getting hold of the ball to allow the likes of Dole, Gascoigne and Vinter to get forward and support.
This is Signori now. York. Gascoigne to be the intended target for Signori's pass. Shalimov. Forward by Crovero. Now then to Dole. This is Vinter. Again, good anticipation by the markers at the back for Inter. Maganin that time. Now was Vinter held back. Grappling with Traversani. Feeling was that Vinter was going to be the fourth foreigner last season, would have had a regular place, but didn't turn out that way. Such was his consistency.
Yes, he really had a good season, Peter, didn't he? delighted for him as well. His passing and use of the ball was very good.
Brackley to Gascoigne. 3 up in support. One of them here is Dole. Shalimov. Yonk. Rather tame ending to that move from Lazio.
Yeah, it was a poor cross from Dole, wasn't it? I know we all hit bad crosses and bad passes, but that was pretty atrocious.
Now, Casiraghi. Dole. Is Winter.
Considering they do have the aerial threat of Casiraghi, they really haven't put any balls across the face of the box at all. And I'm really quite surprised.
Dole. They're missing the whip play of Fusea-Ray. He does give them some thrust on that flank, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly does. And the first thing he has in his mind is to get a cross in, which is nice to see. But they just seem to be over-elaborating a little bit, the Lazio.
Winter. There's Di Matteo with him. Now Luzani to Covero. That's good work by Marcolin to return the pass to Covero. And Bogomir was in the way. Not too much gets past him.
No, that's right. They're hitting the first defender all the time. Covero had a lot of space there in which to deal with that ball, but he still picked out the first defender.
Free kick given to Inter. With 10 minutes of the first half to go, not really too many chances being fashioned by either side.
That's the only thing that's lacking, actually, is the shot on target, which we all want to see. The build-up play has been quite good from both sides, and we just haven't seen many attempts on goal.
Orlando taking the throw for Inter. Off goes Fontalan. By Luzani. What can Orlando do here? Fontalan in towards Shalimov. Good skill by Shalimov. And no real pace on the shot. Very well been deflected there. Certainly no problem for Marchegiani.
Excellent skill though from Shalimov, holding off the defender and getting a twist in and managing to get across him, but Marchegiani looks very alert.
9 goals from Shalimov last season, 9 in his first one in Italy too with Foggia. So he's no slouch in front of goal. Now foul on Casiraghi.
Lovely ability from Casiraghi there as the ball's pumped forward. He leapt high, they're expecting the flick on, but he took it down on his chest and was pulled down in his run.
Marcolin. Di Matteo. Marcolin with a cross in towards Casiraghi. Strength is in the air.
It's not a bad effort there from Marcolin to get that ball in. We see Casiraghi, he's willing, he wants that ball to come across the face of the box to have a go. And it wasn't too far off getting in front of Zenga.
Now Gascoigne. Towards Signori. He's going to win it in the air though. Going against Battistini. Paganin. Tramezzani. Under pressure from Signori.
You can see the response that he's got from the supporters there, Signori. He's ran 60 yards to shut them down. And that's good stuff. That should really at least give Lazio a little bit of a G-up.
Fontalan. Away from Negro. Here's Bergkamp. There's that burst of speed. Now Yonk. His shooting is all over the place today.
Good play from Bergkamp, though, wasn't it? Took the ball, showed great pace there as he burst past a couple. And as the defender come across to try and block it, it was a dainty little chip into Yonk's path.
The two with an excellent understanding, of course, from their days together with Ajax. And that's presumably why Inter went for Yonk as well as Bergkamp, hoping he could be his supply line. Di Matteo with the free kick then for Lazio. Looking to find Casiraghi. This is Dole. And well closed down then by Travezzani. Stoll, who was the first East German to play for the new unified German team. Signori with the corner. Zenga didn't make it. Tramazzani was there, though. Another corner.
It was just as well Tramazzani was there as well. Crivero, I think, would have got in front of Zenga and put that in. That was a good defensive header.
Signori again. That'll be Zenga's. Now Bergkamp on the break for Inter. Maniconi was away to his left. Gascoigne. Bit for space over on the far side. Gascoigne. There's Dole. Up by Battistini. 5 minutes of the first half to go. No goals here, no goals still anywhere in Serie A. Quite astonishing. That's good work by Maniconi. Does look a very accomplished player, and really his arrival last November coincided with Inter's fine run. Shalimov. Fontaine away to his left. He's got Bergkamp down the middle. Von can support as well. This is Bergkamp. Bergkamp with the shot.
It's selfish from Shalimov. Bergkamp made several runs for him there, to which he could have played into the penalty area, but he just kept running with the ball, shutting down everybody's space as well.
Orlando to take the corner.
My goodness, it's strange, isn't it? You know, you've got all these very expensive players on view, and there's not one corner worked out. The ball's just smashed into the box and hoping.
Shalimov with the cross this time. Di Matteo with a header out. Back in by Maniconi, then Battistini. And Fontaine unable to make his presence felt.
Very good goalkeeping again from Marchigiani. He's very bright, Marchigiani. Fontaine had done ever so well to hold off the defender. And he may well have got a shot in, but there was Marchigiani reading the situation and racing out 6 or 7 yards to pick the ball up.
And certainly in the eyes of Arrigo Sacchi, he's right up there with Paliuca and Peruzzi of Juventus. Zenga no longer apparently in the running.
I think we can see he's not the tallest goalkeeper in the world, but he's very agile and he's a good leaper.
Says Casiraghi. This is Dole now. And there's an injury. Vinter who went down.
I think, unfortunately for Vinter, I think he was the filling in the sandwich, as it were. And he's got a bit of a whack there from Casiraghi.
Yes, it was his own teammate who caught him there. I don't think Shalimov played any part. It was Casiraghi who clattered into him. No, he's okay. And the willingness of the players to take some refreshment, underlining just how hot it is in Rome. Tramazzani with the throw, and it'll be given back to Lazio. Crivero. On from Gascoigne, but he was using his elbows there on Maniconi. Gazza was going to run off with his boot then.
Well, that's good stuff by Paul there, picking his boot up and giving it back to him. He keeps in the good books of everybody, the referee, the opposition, the lot. So it's what we want to see, a nice image from Paul.
That's the foul count so far. The latest by Paul Gascoigne. Celestini with the free kick. Now Tramezzani to Manicone. It all revolves around him. As we move into the last minute of the first half, the flick on was from Bergkamp. Nothing on though for Fontaine. Di Matteo to Victor. Now Gascoigne. Lazio swapping their passes around confidently. Not making too many inroads really into Inter's defence at this first half. Casiraghi beaten in the air. Dole. Dole with a cross. Casiraghi. And a hint of menace there from Casiraghi at the far post.
Yeah, super ball from Thomas Dole. He didn't have to go round him. Just saw the gap and lifted it over, and Casiraghi's poor first touch let him down. It just goes to show what they can do if they put the ball in the box. We saw Paul Gascoigne hit a great ball in for Signori, and now we've had Thomas do exactly the same for Casiraghi.
Victor. Di Matteo. We're into injury time at the end of the first half. This is Marcolin. Shadowed by Orlando, who does a good job down this right flank for Inter. And again, it all comes to nothing.
Yes, he's doing a similar job to Bianchi, Orlando, isn't he? He's coming on the right side, and as you say, Peter, and quite rightly so, he's done a very good job there tracking back. Because Marcolin does look as if he possesses a very good left foot, and we're just in a couple of quality balls hit by him. So that's good defensive play.
Bergomi. Now Bergkamp. In goes Gascoigne. Di Matteo with the pass. Finding Casiraghi. Signori ahead of him. This is Signori now. Too many defenders in the end, though. Well organised at the back, Inter. Away by Yock. Fontaine. This is Orlando. Tramezzani. Offside, though, against Fontaine. A very hot afternoon for the referee as well. He'll be sweating at the end. A bit warm in England yesterday, Ray, wasn't it, playing?
Yes, it was. It was far too warm for football, and it looks a very warm afternoon here.
So your thoughts on the first half here then, Ray? No goals and really not too many chances.
No, that's right, and it's quite disappointing when you consider the talent that we have on show. There really haven't been any chances, really, and the one, I think, falling to Signori, which he should have hit the target with, was about the only one.
And the thoughts of the two respective coaches, what do you think they'll have to say at half-time?
Well, I think after the bad press they've received during the week, they'll be quite happy with a 0-0 scoreline at the moment. Perhaps not so much Dino Zoff. They're playing at home. We'd like to see the onus is on them to perform. And I would imagine at half-time there'll be a few words spoken, and hopefully we can see the game pick up in the second half.
Let's hope so. We'll, of course, be back with the second half and also the half-time scores, if there are any from the other matches. We'll be back in a couple of minutes from now. So join us again.
Welcome back to the Stadio Olimpico. The score here 0-0 between Lazio and Inter, and that's the score that's the same pretty much all over Serie A. Milan against Roma, the only difference to that. It really has been an extraordinary first half of action all over Italy. I can't remember the last time that we've had a first 45 minutes with so little action, or so little scoring anyway, and we'll have our statistical boys checking out when was the last time that such a dearth of goals happened. Well, there has been action, of course, in this first half, and now let's join Peter Brackley and Ray Wilkins. We're going to be taking a look at some of the best moments.
Thanks, James. Yes, not too many incidents, really, in the first 45 minutes, but the best chances really came the way of Lazio, and the first of those to Casiraghi, Ray.
Yes, that's right. We've got Thomas Dole on the ball there. It was a great run from Kazaragi. He gets on the end of it, and he just can't squeeze it in at the near post. But that was good football, and I thought when that happened, we were going to see a really good and exciting afternoon. There's the run again, and he just can't squeeze it under Zenga. Good covering from Bergamy there. And their own Paul Gascoigne gets on the ball, given far too much time on the ball because he has the ability to pick people out. Signori's pulled off the back of the into defence. Fantastic ball from Gaza. And he just can't put it on the target. He should have done a lot better with that.
Played almost arrogantly into the path end of Signori. We were just saying maybe a bit ring rusty, not as sharp as he was last season, having been out for injury.
Well, I think you can see in his general play as well, Peter. He's not looked as sharp, and this was absolutely brilliant from Gaza. This taking the responsibility on running the ball up to Dole, little one through the back of the legs, and now the little jinking run. Gets a little bit of a break here, but that's his strength. His strength has taken him through. Now he's got the chance to hit it. Decides to go round the next, and it's the recovering defender, I think Paganini, who got back and made the challenge on Gaza.
Well, those three are the top moments of the first half, as we're saying. Not really too many chances at either end. One or two moments from Dennis Bergkamp, but he's been kept relatively quiet, Ray.
Yes, he has. He has shown a few glimpses of his brilliance, but as far as goal scoring is concerned, he hasn't really had the opportunity to show us what he can do. But outside the box, he links up well, he brings people into the game very nicely, and he really does look a quality player.
Well, Dino Zoff has been saying beforehand, Lazio are good enough to win the Scudetto, even if we've only just joined that formidable group of top clubs, the likes of Milan, Inter and Juve. Would you see Lazio as being that good a side at this stage?
I think if Lazio can tighten up all round, especially defensively, then they must have a chance of perhaps emulating what they did last year and get a good UEFA position in the Championship. But it's going to be a tough season for them. I'd like to see them pick the game up a bit, play with a bit more pace. They do have some fantastic players, but they just don't get the ball in the box enough. They've got Kazaragi, who is magnificent in the air, and Signori is fantastic on the floor, but they just don't get the service in the box.
Now, we've had an isolated camera on Paul Gascoigne throughout the first half, so we can analyse his contribution now. What was your overall impression of him?
I was quite impressed with him. He wanted to get on the ball all the time. He showed great strength on a number of occasions. His dribble into the box, he showed enormous amount of strength, which was good to see. And he wants the ball all the time. And that's what Dino Zoff will be looking for him. And there he was. That was a good run from Paul, laying the ball off to Kazaragi. But there he is again. That's his strength. Players just bounce off it. And there he was. I think that was the time he was having a little go with Signori. He wanted someone to play the ball into and get it back.
And the anticipation of the crowd was quite amazing. Every time he got the ball, there was a huge roar.
Yes, I think we can see he really is a favourite with the Lazio supporters. And when he does get the ball, he seems to lift them all. And it's nice. It's good for us back here as well, that one of our lads can do that to a very passionate Italian crowd.
Well, that's Paul Gascoigne's first half. We'll be back with the second half and also the news of that one goal after the break.
Welcome back to the Stadio Olimpico, 0-0 between Lazio and Inter, as we're all too aware. And time now, in fact, to check through the rest of the first half results, the scores so far around the rest of Serie A. And really no problems reading through this. I don't know if it's even worth it. As you can see, more zeros than Paul Gascoigne's bank account. The only exception to this shutout in the first half is the score between Milan and Roma. Dimitri Albertini coming up with a goal there that puts them in the lead, Milan. Now, one goal in 45 minutes, and it really is an extraordinarily low tally. And before the break, I actually said that we'd try and find out when the last time there was such a low-scoring first half. Well, what we have found out was that there have been two low-scoring afternoons that have really taken the record here in Italy. 6 goals scored in the entire afternoon. It's happened twice, in 1969 and 1979. By the looks of things, that we could be on the way for the same figure today, but only if they up their scoring rate. Well, over now to our commentators for this second half in this game between Lazio and Inter, Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. We're certainly looking forward to goals in the second half, hopefully, but not this kind of incident that we're seeing now, with some missiles being thrown in the crowd. A fairly volatile atmosphere between two teams who have their eyes on the Scudetto, but maybe on the showing today. Still a long way to go before they're in that kind of category. And We're seeing again there, Ray, well, the one goal so far, scored by Milan, who again are setting the pace for the rest to follow.
Yes, pretty ominous, Peter, isn't it? They are the team to catch, and they're really performing very well. They've kept clean sheets all the way through. I don't think they've conceded a goal so far this season. And that really has been their strength over the last few years. Defensively, they're very, very solid, and they do have the ability to break out and score goals. And it doesn't surprise me they're beating Rome. They have a good record against Roma in their own stadium, the San Siro. But getting back to this afternoon's game, the big shadows coming across the pitch there. Let's hope the lads can really pick it up. It won't be so hot in the second half. And let's just hope they've got the energy there to liven the game up a bit. We need a few crosses going in the box for Casaraghi, and a bit more invention from Lazio and Inter.
It was this game, really, last season, this fixture, that prompted Inter into life. Rather, Lazio, well, yes, Inter into life, because it was Lazio's win over them that started a run of 19 games there without defeat for Inter, so something inspired them that day. And of course they went on then to really stretch Milan at the top, didn't quite make it at the end. Just the one defeat, as I was saying earlier on, in some 21 games.
Which was absolutely fantastic. When you think they were 11 points behind AC Milan at one stage, and managed to claw it back to a mere 4, which was a great effort from Inter. Obviously they've got to be seen to be catching up on their local rivals AC, but they really did put in a good show towards the end of the season. And to go that long undefeated, or losing one game in such a lot of games, is quite a feat in Italian football.
And in that fixture last season, Inter were without Sosa and Schillaci, as they are today. And Paul Gascoigne was not in the Lazio side.
I think that's where the problem with Inter falls. You just mentioned two people there, Schillaci and Ruben Sosa, who are both missing today. They have a lot of injuries, Inter, and when you have a number of players coming in and week out, it really does ruin the balance of the side, and I think that's what is happening to Inter at this moment.
The task also for Dino Zoff is for his team to improve their away form this season. They were fairly consistent at home, but very erratic on their travels. This is Paganin for Inter, now kicking from right to left. Just confirmation, the one goal among all the Serie A clubs in the first half is a record in an 18-team Serie A season.
It's not really the record we want to hear about, though, Peter, is it?
Really?
We've got so many talented players on view here, and week in, week out, it seems really strange that there's only one goal in the whole of the league.
Forward by Luzzari, cut out though by Jock. This is Paganin. Will be under pressure to keep his place when Ferry is back from injury. Now Manicone. Shalimov. Here's Jock. Now Manicone. Battistini to Jock. Hasn't really influenced the game so far, Wim Jock. Gascoigne has from time to time. Signori, now then to Gascoigne. Showing it well from Orlando, was then struck by Manicone. There's a beaming smile, well, the Gascoigne has, I doubt.
He may well have stretched himself there, Paul. He ended up not in the splits, and it didn't look too pleasant.
Back on his feet, though, Dole. Given away, Gascoigne still steadying himself, really. Now, good run here by Bergkamp. As Bergkamp appeals for handball. Heisman saw nothing wrong, nor did the referee.
I think that's a bit of Bergkamp frustration there. Normally he would have taken that ball on and got an opportunity of scoring.
Signori. Far too close, though, to Walter Zenga.
Yeah, Bergkamp had a great opportunity there as the ball came over the top. His first touch let him down. He normally drags them on very nicely, but and then we saw afterwards it was handball, but then that was his frustration creeping out because of the incident previous.
Di Matteo to Victor. Casaraghi. Outsmarted though, outmaneuvered by Bergami. Vinter. Rivero. Look at the chasing there of Fontaine. In Italian football to win the ball back now.
Yes, I think that's right. I think that's throughout the whole of the league. They really do work hard to get the ball back now. And it's nice to see, because we don't want to see the game played at a too leisurely pace. It's nice to see people working to shut players down and get amongst them. But I think already the game's only 5 minutes old in the second half, and we've seen 2 crosses going from Lazio. I wonder whether Dino Zoff has actually mentioned the fact that they do have a very talented header of the ball up front in Casaraghi.
Does certainly seem a waste of his talents if they don't supply him with the crosses. Bergami losing out to Paul Gascoigne. Di Matteo. Dispossessed though by Mariconi. Bergami's pass up to Battistini. Good jump by Tramezzani. Gets well forward down this left flank. Hasn't really been exposed defensively. There has been some question mark against his defensive qualities. Not really seen that so far.
No, he's defended well because he's got Thomas Dole against him. Dole's a very tricky customer, got 2 really good feet. Tramezzani has managed to keep him quite quiet.
Rosari, now a permanent fixture in the side since Gregucci's departure. Indeed, he took over from him last season. Bergkamp tackling back. Led off by Casaraghi, on that foot Dole. Now Gascoigne. Here's Dole. Di Matteo. Useful ball to Signori. And again, last season, he'd have fancied it from there.
Yes, that's right. That was an excellent ball from Di Matteo, picking Signori out, and he would definitely have hit the target last season. He does look a little bit ring rusty, but that's only to be expected. But it's a brighter start. The game is a lot brighter, and that's what we want to see.
York, Orlando. York with the pass. But no way through. Ball for Gascoigne. Sent it back to his goalkeeper. Marcagiani. On from Signori. Just showing that David Platt has scored again for Sampdoria. Udinese 0, Sampdoria 1. It's his 3rd goal of the season, so it's been a bright start for David Platt in his new career with Sampdoria.
Yeah, he's relishing it now, isn't he, David? That's great stuff, 3 goals already. I think it's nice for him to know that he'll probably be selected week in and week out, and he's gained confidence from that. And I think we can see from his scoring exploits this season that it's done him a power of good.
Here's Dole. Certainly doesn't know that he has a permanent place in the side. For Vinter. Marconi, though, to bring it away for Inter. Orlando. Feeding Fontaine. There's Yonk. Now Pagadin. Down by Di Matteo. The frustration of Paul Gascoigne and the amusement of the referee. Yonk. Bergkamp. Good turn. Very sharp Bergkamp. They did well to close him down then. Comes Cavero. Signori. Shown for him well. Off goes Casaraghi. What support does he have though? How quickly he was closed down. Dole. Gascoigne. Marcolin to Vinter again. Goal. No misunderstanding Di Matteo. Dole. And again, Inter too strong at the back. Fontalan taking on Negro. Felt he was impeded. The referee just turned away. Di Matteo. This is Yonk finding Orlando. Inter, who had 5 away wins in Serie A last season and were unbeaten at home. Di Matteo. Goal. Lazio playing themselves out of trouble well. Now Signori. Taking on Paganin. Tramezzani with a boot in. That's cool defending by Inter. Oh, but sloppy defending by Lazio from Di Matteo. And he then lashed out at Fontalan. A goal for Juventus at home to Reggiana. And it's Ravanelli against his old club. Ravanelli, of course, getting a run in the side now with Vialli's injury. Battistini up for Shalimov. The tackle there by Vinter.
That's a good contest, that, Vinter and Shalimov. They've been in each other's area all afternoon, and that's been a really good battle between them two.
Say air or hair, then?
Sorry?
You say it is air or hair? You're a fine one to talk. Vinter. Rivero. Good layoff at by Dole, finding Vinter. Now Gascoigne. Yonk. Orlando to Manicone. Bergome's made the run down the flank. This is Orlando now. Support from Bergome. Got players forward here, have Inter. Fontalan, it was a tentative touch though. No real confidence about it. And away comes Lazio with Dole. Juventus now 2-0 up against Reggiana and De Mola with the second goal. That's 4 for him this season. Well, Dole bitterly disappointed. And the referee says no. Away came Tramezzani.
So you can complain, Thomas Dole. That was a good tackle from Tramezzani. He didn't have the pace to go around him, and the defender stuck to him like glue, and that was good defending.
Battistini. Now Yonk. Still the players having to compete with the intense heat as well as each other. Bergkamp has got Fontalan and Yonk in support. He's forced the corner. The display of Dino Zoff down there on the bench.
Again, I think that's the third time we've seen Bergkamp get free. He's running off the ball, he's very intelligent. And got himself into a good position for the cross. And I thought he won a corner.
Orlando looking for Bergkamp, and down for Fontalan, and Marcagiani just holding on.
There you go, we've got a bit of quality into the penalty area, and we've nearly got a goal. Marcagiani just took his eye off the ball for that split second, but managed to get his arm up at the last moment. The ball comes in there, I think it's from Orlando, a good ball in, very intelligent little header there from Bergkamp. And then we see the trailing arm of Marcagiani just prevents it from going in the goal.
He actually lost his marker then, Bergkamp, and maybe had even more time than he realised. But Inter close to a goal there. Marcolin, former Cremonese player. quartet of Italian under-21 stars who came to Lazio last season. Bergami doesn't want to take the throw, so Orlando will oblige. A goal now for Parma at home to Torino, and it's scored by the Colombian star Asprilla. Parma 1, Torino 0. So we are getting goals in the second half. We could do with one here. Thomas Doll, urged on by the Lazio followers. Beyond Casiraghi, it was a poor cross really. Signori now, they've got a second chance. Just too long for Casiraghi, and the referee's given the free kick in favour of Paganini of Inter.
Quite rightly so. Casiraghi was leaning all over him, but it wasn't a bad ball in from Signori. It was a good area in which to put the ball in, only needed a touch and it's a goal. But that's the sort of thing they've got to do. They've got to start whipping them balls in. We saw Thomas Doll go down the right-hand side there, and there was only Casiraghi in the box, and they've got to try and get more players forward into them scoring areas.
Rosati doing his best to subdue Bergkamp and Fontelan. Rosati now, another of the Italian under-21 stars. The team that won the European Championship. Now, Traversani, certainly one for the future in the Inter side. And held back then by Casiraghi.
So looks quite an accomplished player, doesn't he? So I think it's the first time I've seen Traversani play, and he does look a fair player.
He played against Sampdoria, remember, last season. That was his debut. Danioli brought him in. One of the games we televised. I think you were away that weekend. How hard Orlando is working there to deny him any space. Now Crivero. Dole. Crivero with Vinter. There's a shooting chance maybe here. Again, Zenga in no way extended.
What a shame as well. That was a lovely build-up from Lazio. Vinter put in a beautiful dummy just before he shot, but just failed to keep it on target. The football was good. Crivero that sparked it off by receiving the ball just inside his own half. And it was good football, good build-up, nice passing.
Crivero to guide it back. Gascoigne controlled it delightfully away from Bergami. The attack pass was rather sloppy from Casiraghi. Bergkamp. Now Fontelan. Tramezzani. This is Jock. And outside him, Orlando. Stini. Easy though for Negro, and he's given it away to Tramezzani. Very sloppy defending by Lazio. Fontelan to Shalimov. Good defending by Vinter. Gascoigne, the strength to right tackle from York. Fiercely contesting it there with Shalimov, but here's Bergkamp, and he didn't really get hold of it.
Swinger, we could safely say, with Bergkamp there. He didn't look at all happy, he didn't on his left side. But it's a dangerous position for Bergkamp to pick the ball up in. He seems to have lost his marker on 2 or 3 occasions.
Signori. Now by Bergami, who left his leg trailing. And a yellow card for the Inter captain.
Yes, there was no need for that. That was a poor tackle, poor challenge. Signori coming off Bergami and just dipping inside him. The old experienced head there that has dragged him down. He thought he's not going any further than he is now. see it again. He beat him quite comfortably. Bergamy knows the sort of damage that it can do if he gets on one of those runs, so he thought it wise to pull him down. In fact, he picked up a booking. It won't really matter to him too much.
Certainly one of the most ruthless defenders in the Italian game, Bergamy. No longer features in the national team. Still very much a part of the furniture with Inter. Now, Victor. Looking for Casiraghi. Here's Marcolin. Di Matteo. Young. Chance for Inter to spring forward now. Away by Crivero. Gascoigne to Dobb. Signori ahead of him and Casiraghi too. Here's Signori now. Casiraghi just trying to delay his run and get away from the marking. The whole posse of Inter defenders doing their job very capably.
Yes, they defended in numbers very well until they get themselves back behind the ball and make sure they put pressure on the ball as early as they possibly can when it's in and around the box, and they've done a good job.
Bergamy in his 14th season now with Inter. Yock was in his first. Fontalan to Manicone. Now Shalimov. Too easy though for Lazio. Di Matteo. Gascoigne. Held off Yock well enough. Marcolin. Coming towards the halfway point then in the second half. Still we await the first goal. At least we've had some elsewhere in Italy.
Yes, the game seems to have gone a little bit flat. A lot of bad passing at the moment. The continuity of the game keeps being ruined by passes that look quite simple. And players are really messing them up. Under no pressure at all and giving the ball away.
Rather ironic, really. Lazio keeping tight at the back, not conceding any goals. A different story last season when they were letting in too many. They're scoring plenty. And they had 3 goalless games in their first 4 this season. Failing to score against Foggia, Reggiana, and of course Cremonese when they went down last week.
Yes, it is unlikely, and they normally have a number of chances on goal and normally put them away.
Casiraghi to Gascoigne. Negro. This is goal. Losing out, pumped up by Trarazani. Aspria has struck again for Parma, so they now lead Torino by 2 goals to 0. Torino, who were top of the table before the match today.
It appears that everybody's trying to help Milan out again.
Milan, as far as we know, is still a goal up against Roma. Goal from Albertini. Now Casiraghi. Victor. Gascoigne just made that little bit of room for himself with a clever turn. Again, there's a buzz around the ground. Signori trying to weave his path to goal. Whacked away by Orlando.
It's a great first touch from Signori. Gazza doing exceptionally well to get the ball in the box, but it was a great first touch. There were just too many Inter players around to prevent him creating anything. But Gazza's really been involved in the game from start, and he's done very well.
Goal. A little more urgency being shown by Lazio now. Victor let it run on for Signori. And Inter got away with it. Young. Bergkamp. against Roma. Second goal coming from Nava, their defender. That's his first for the club. Rosati with the throw for Lazio. Still struggling to break into down. And it's the same story really at the other end, where Gianni hasn't been in trouble all that often.
Neither goalkeepers really called into action at all. It's the only factor really that's we're not happy with. There's been some good football played, but they just haven't got the ball in the box and got shots on target. And that's both teams.
Fontalan, Orlando. Fontalan wins it back off Gascoigne. For Bergkamp, and the goalkeeper very swiftly out of his 6-yard box. There's a lot of goalkeeping there by Gianni.
Yes, he does very well. He sweeps up around the back four very well indeed, Gianni. Very, very alert.
Goal. Di Matteo for Gascoigne. Di Matteo. It's a good effort too. Far wide.
Oh, that was a good effort. Nice pass from Paul again. Put him in. And he hit that from about 30-odd yards. And he was the one that hit the free kick from about 40 in the first half. So he must fancy himself. There we see it once again. It's a nice shot. Just swerving away towards Zenga's left-hand post. What a good effort from Di Matteo.
Well, he's featured in all of Lazio's matches so far. So they clearly rate him highly. He's started the last 4 now, including this one. Place of Gascoigne against Foggia in the first week. And has kept his place in the team. Bergkamp away from Di Matteo. Fontalan. Careless work again there by Lazio.
I think it was Di Matteo again that gave the ball away. He's having a bit of a dodgy 5 minutes. He'd be well advised just to play the ball very, very simple the next time he gets it to a Lazio shirt to get himself back involved in the game.
Fontalan did extremely well. Bergkamp with a header. Now Shalimov. Shalimov again. Just for a moment, Lazio were reeling at the back. But now they can bring it away with Victor. Dole. Signori away to his left. He's got some space here. Till it was closed down very quickly by Orlando. And the referee, who was in the right place, said no foul.
That's good play from Orlando, tucking himself back in there to help his midfield out. That's good, really good play. Nice challenge.
Bergkamp. York. For Shalimov. That was a real chance then for Inter. Gianni furious with the defending ahead of him. And well, I don't think Shalimov will be too pleased with himself.
I don't think he will. Last year he had a great return last year. And there's Jonk. Lovely little pass with the outside of his right foot. Good run from Shalimov. And he didn't hit the target. Didn't bring Gianni into the game. He scored 9 last year from similar positions. And he'll be a bit disappointed that he didn't get that one in.
Fabulous awareness shown by Vic York to set him up for the chance. And Lazio are lucky to be still level. Orlando. And for York. And who supplied the pass for Shalimov's opportunity. York again. By Di Matteo. Second goal now for Sampdoria. Mancini scored, so they're now 2 up away to Udinese. Fontalan showing good pace, good skill towards Bergkamp. And Shalimov. At least he's making more of those telling runs now that we saw so often last season. Gascoigne. Orlando snapping back at him unsuccessfully, and there was Shalimov to take it away from Gascoigne. the crowd saw him, Ray, even if Gazza didn't.
Well, I think it's a bit poor. There's obviously a lack of communication there. Paul's done exceptionally well to carry the ball into that area. All he needs is a shout that Shalamov's on his tail and he'll knock the ball off.
Okay. Shalimov. Now Bergkamp. Tremazzani with a spirited run outside him. It's shown well, Tremazzani. And across too long. He's found Orlando. Gascoigne with the header away, only as far as York. A fairly promising spell for Inter. There's failed to produce a goal, but certainly some anxious moments at the back for Lazio.
Yes, that's quite right, Peter. They seem to have picked their game up a bit. Shalimov seems to be getting into the game a little bit more. But that was an excellent run by Tremazzani. He should have done a little bit better with the cross. He had plenty of time. He could have picked someone out. But it's sustained pressure from Inter at the moment. And it's nice to see that they've come back into the game.
Saragi with the header, and then by Dole. Juventus have certainly taken charge against Reggiana. Third goal there. Roberto Baggio with his first of the afternoon. We're still hoping for the first of the day here. Fontalan. Is he taking it too far? Shalimov! Oh, dreadful miss. Excellent work by Fontalan, and Shalimov, for what the second time in just a few minutes, has squandered a perfect opening.
That's quite incredible. Fontalan doing well there, and it looked as if he'd picked his spot in the corner, wide of Marcogiani, and it's gone wide. But that was good play also from Fontalan to go over to him and give him that little arm around the shoulder, a bit of encouragement. That's what it's all about. I cannot understand this for 1 minute. He's actually been dictating things for Lazio from the middle of the field. I can't understand why he should have taken him off, and I think you can hear from the crowd that they're not too happy with that either.
Well, there was a shake of the head then from Paul Gascoigne. I don't think there's any injury problem. Maybe Dino Zoff felt he was tiring, but as Ray's saying there, and he was dictating the game.
I think all this fitness situation has got to go out the window now. We've seen him play there for, what, 75 minutes? I don't know how long the game's gone, but he's played it at the same pace as everybody else. He's also shown some great ability, and I can't really see why Zoff has pulled him off the field.
Certainly seemed to be the one man who might make something happen for Lazio in this second half.
Yes, that's quite right.
Shalimov. He certainly should have given his team the lead. Bergkamp with Fontalan, and away by Negro. Luciano De Paula, I suppose, come on. A ball winner, really. Than a ball player, signed from Brescia last summer. Paula wearing 15. At the centre of the picture there. Now from Marcolin. He looked really disappointed too, didn't he, Ray?
Well, I think he's got reason to feel disappointed as well. I think we can see that Di Paolo's gone straight into the middle of the field where Paul was, but I think he's going to do more of a sitting role. Zoff has probably taken Paul off because he's not happy with the way things are defensively from Lazio's point of view. It certainly can't be from the way that he's played. His passing's been good, he's shown good strength, and he's created the odd chance for Lazio.
Marcolin with the free kick up towards Casiraghi. Remains a threat in the air. They haven't been able to turn it to any full advantage, really, Lazio.
They haven't. The ball they're hitting in is into a poor area as well. Casiraghi's going back. He's not got the leverage to get the ball back in the box. Consequently, the defender is favourite to win the ball.
At the moment, more likely scorers, the team in possession. Inter, Tremazzani now. Shalimov has been kicking himself for wasting those two glorious chances. Here's Fontalan now. As Inter threaten to open up Lazio yet again. Maracone. Shalimov for York. York again.
It certainly isn't. It's a fantastic save from Marcogiani. His reflexes are so fast. He's off his line like a flash. As Jonk had the first chance, it dropped down, and there was Marcogiani flying out at him. pulled off a very, very good save. But Inter should have had 2 or 3 goals in the second half.
Ramazzani with the corner. Victor able to clear.
There we go, the ball coming in, and it's Jonk on the far post. Oh no, it was the header, sorry. Jonk didn't get the first, but there was Marcogiani out like a flash to prevent Jonk having a free shot on goal. Good goalkeeper.
Pagani to Maricone. Ramazzani shut him off. Zorlando. Lazio being picked back here by Inter. Maricone, a really strong spell now by Inter. Jonk. Too long though for Fontaine, who has to fetch it. Bergkamp waiting on the cross, which is not forthcoming, thanks to the intervention by Negro.
It was a great shame that Jonk didn't get a better ball in than that, because that was superb football from Inter. Nice one-touch stuff, created the opportunity, but he wasted it rather, Jonk there with a very poor cross. But they've got their corner out of it, and Fontaine was playing for that, bouncing it off the defender.
Bergodi, the marker that we look about to bring on, Lazio. Take off Thomas Doll.
Mind you, yes, Zoppa's definitely gone for the defensive setup, hasn't he? He's taken off possibly the 2 most creative players on the field in Dole and Gascoigne. He obviously doesn't want to lose this one.
Perhaps he doesn't take off Signori as well.
I think he would do if he hadn't used up his quota, Peter.
Well, with 10 minutes to go, Inter taking charge now, and Lazio reinforcing their defensive strategy. Orlando, wide is shut him off. It rather hands the initiative though to Inter, doesn't it?
Most certainly.
Bergodi was very strong at the back, and will certainly come as an extra marker there, hoping to give them more stability.
They seem to have created a number of chances, and they should have scored. They haven't even hit the target, I don't think, on any of them, except for Jonk's effort. We just saw Marcogiani make a very good save. But it does rather hand the initiative over to Inter. Now, you wouldn't like to think Lazio are just going to sit back on their box and hope to defend and get a draw out of it.
Followed by Luzzari. Vinter. Casiraghi was tumbled. Maybe rumbled too by the referee. He's not given the free kick anyway.
I think he has been rumbled as well. He went down as if he'd been shot there, Casiraghi. I don't even think there was much contact made at all.
Also an injury to Paganin. Fourth goal I'm hearing now for Juventus at home to Reggiana, and it's Belpiero, a young 18-year-old. It's notched goal number 4, so it's a pretty torrid afternoon for Reggiana. Last season Serie B champions.
It's always very difficult for sides that come up from Serie B to get straight into the big action. There we see the little incident again. Casiraghi went, I think the sniper had got Casiraghi there. Nothing wrong with it at all.
It's probably James Richardson. Now, Vinter. Negro with the throw then for Lazio, who've reduced their attacking options by taking off Dole and Gascoigne. They're still menacing here with Signori, at least they were. Oh, what a dreadful clearance. And stabbed wide by Casiraghi.
My goodness, that was a dreadful clearance. Quite rightly said there, Peter. Zenga just smashing it straight at the stomach of, I think it's the stomach of Casiraghi. And he just toe pokes it wide of the upright. Oh, that wasn't far away, was it?
Zenga was completely stranded. It was his mistake. He made an error in the week as well in Europe.
It's nice to actually mention his name, though, Peter. We haven't really had on too many occasions to mention Zenga's name. He's actually been involved, which is quite nice to see.
Maniconi. Paganin. This is Bergodi. Up by Crivero.
Signori bellowing at his players to get up in support. They're just sitting back there now and leaving Signori and Casaraghi up on their own.
Ramazzani. Here's Berguri, experienced defender. Got to shore things up at the back for Lazio. By Crivero again. Casaraghi couldn't check off Bergami, but he's got the free kick.
He did well to hold the ball up there, but he was under enormous pressure from Bergami. But he held it up well, took it on his chest, used his body very well to prevent Bergami getting a touch.
Nice shot there of Bagnoli, the coach of Inter, who was saying beforehand, would anyone believe me if I told them we were playing well? I really have a big nose, I wouldn't want it to get any larger. Just fair comment. Now, shot on the turn, dealt with low by Zenga.
Again, great chest control from Casaraghi. The ball played on an angle, took the ball very well on his chest and managed to get the strike in. But Zenga's concentration is excellent, made a good stop from it.
Away by Bergami. Zenga, who recently passed Ivano Bordon's record of Serie A appearances for an Inter goalkeeper. Well over 100 games now for Zenga. Signori, no way through though for him. Vinto appeals in vain by the Inter defenders for a free kick play on, says the referee. Now Bergkamp. Surely danger for Lazio here. Still Bergkamp. And four defenders able to outsmart him. 5 minutes to go. Orlando. Zenga, of course, would have been around in your days in Italy.
Yes, he was. He's always been an exceptional goalkeeper. Very high profile guy as well, Zenga. Likes to be seen and heard. He's done very well for himself.
Shelmont's done well. This is Orlando. Free waiting in the middle. Fontaine. Manicone. For York. Pagarin. Manicone. Inter couldn't control it. Bergami. Now Shalimov. This is Orlando. Shalimov. Into throw. Certainly had a lot of possession in the second half, Inter. And Bagnoli's team have had the chances to have won it. No doubt about that at all. Manicone. This is Battistini. Goes York, down goes Bergkamp. And the free kick in favour of Lazio.
Yeah, just using his body there to try and roll him round, Peter. That was a foul. Inter at times, they get a little bit under pressure. They start pumping the ball away and losing the ball with silly passes, silly straight passes into Bergkamp. And Crivero just mops them up all afternoon. He's an exceptional reader of the game. They're no problem at all to Lazio. And we saw earlier on, they kept the ball moving nice and quick. 1 and 2 touch, managed to get people into the box, and they had a couple of occasions to score.
Crivero seems to be okay. Huge leap by Casaraghi, but to no avail. Traversani. Fontaine. Manicone. Inter will certainly still feel the game is there to be won. Yok. Orlando, I think, to profit from the return pass by Yok. I certainly felt he was impeded there. May have had a case, Ray.
Yes, I think he had a case of being obstructed there, but I think the referee's handled the game quite well, really. He's not put up with any play action at all. He's really clamped down on that sort of stuff, and I think he's had a good match.
I'll let him know you think so. Signori. Nothing on for Casiraghi. He's battled away up front, though, Casiraghi. De Paula. Marcolin. Marcolin again. Out by Paganini. And also going for a free kick to Inter.
Zenga getting hold of the ball. I think he feels that Inter can win the game, really speeding the free kick up. The game is there for Inter if they want to go and get it.
Bergkamp trying to shake off Luzardi and De Paula, and Luzardi was in the way, and the free kick goes the way of Lazio. What have you made of him all round, though, Bergkamp, right?
Yeah, I think Bergkamp, he's got a little bit frustrated, I think, Bergkamp. It was 6 to 1 half a dozen whether he would get the decision there, but he's had a little go at the referee. I think the referee thought, well, I'll have a little pop back at you now, and that's one apiece. But I've been quite impressed with Bergkamp. His movement's excellent. He's shown he's got a great technique, and really looking forward to seeing him play a lot more.
Casiraghi. To Inter. Asprilla has now completed his hat-trick for Parma. That's at home to Torino. So they will surely be knocked off the top, Torino. Milan, who were level with them on 7 points before the start of play today. Milan still 2 up against Roma. No goals here as we move into injury time. Fontalan.
I didn't really see what that was for there. The referee has given a rather strange decision now. I didn't actually see what that was for.
Well, praise has got to his head.
Good ears hearing as well, isn't it?
And that's it, the final whistle blown. So, well, the whistles around the stadium will tell you a big disappointment really for Lazio as the home side, and Dino Zoff's team really didn't take the game to Inter in the second half, and there'll be, I'm sure, plenty of controversy in the local media about the decision to take off both Gascoigne and Thomas Doll.
Yes, I think there will be, Peter. It was quite disappointing, really, the fact that we've got so many talented players on view. We didn't sort of get the goal-scoring opportunities that we'd anticipated before the match. Both sides are really star-studded, and when you think we've had, I think, a maximum of 3 shots on target, it's a pretty poor showing, really, when you consider the talent on view.
Well, let's look back then on the major incidents in the game, Ray. And a few more certainly in the second half as Inter threatened to take control, and Lazio rather sat back.
Yes, that's right. Shalimov come into his own, didn't he? Here we see the ball from Orlando coming in. It was Bergkamp, a little dainty little header there. He just couldn't get his foot to it, Fontalan, and Marcogiani made an excellent save. But they really did come into the game in the second half. Now we'll see it once more. Bergkamp had the opportunity to bring it down on his chest as well, but he elected to head it through. It was a nice header. And then we saw Marcogiani very alert all afternoon. Here we saw Paul going in for a couple of challenges. He ends up losing the ball in the finish. There we go. Makes a brave effort to get it back. Shalimov on the ball. A little pass through. This is what Bergkamp does well. Finds himself space in the box. And I think that's not his strongest side, his left side. And straight at the body of Marcogiani. And this is the shot coming in from Di Matteo from 30-odd yards. A nice pass from Paul, setting him free. Hit with the outside of the right foot. So it's bending away from Zenga's left-hand post. But again, not on target. but it was a good effort. There we go once more. It would be nice to see Zenga brought into the game a lot more with the Lazio forward players. This is a great pass from Young. That's the eyeball. He's staring one way, passes it the other. Great run from Shalimov. But again, he failed to hit the target. He'd be desperately disappointed. There he is, Jonk, looking one way and playing it with the outside of his right foot. First-class pass. But it's also the running off the ball that's the major factor. It's a great little diagonal run from Shalimov. Fontaine ends up in the box. A great little drinking run. And it looked as if Shalimov had just picked his spot. I thought he'd score from there, but just past the upright. He'd be absolutely desperate to have missed that chance, because he's having a bit of a problem getting in the side, and I'm sure had he put one of those away, there wouldn't have been any question whether he'd have played again. Shalimov again with a dainty little ball. Yonk made a good run. Marcagiani so alert. He had a super game, Marcagiani, when he was called upon. There we see the little ball being dinked in. Falls to Yonk, but who comes into the picture? Marcagiani. Very, very good save.
Now Casaraghi with a rare chance, really, that came Lazio's way.
Yes, it was nice build-up play. The ball goes back into Zenga. Zenga with a poor clearance straight into the midriff of Casaraghi. As it bounces forward, he just gets his toe, and it's away and wide of the post. Possibly the best chance that fell to Casaraghi all afternoon, and he showed he was up to it, but he just didn't hit the target again.
So there we are, no goals in the Olympic Stadium. Lazio against Inter. Let's check the other news from James Richardson.
Well, something of a flat ending there to the game, and a bit of a disappointment, especially for Paul Gascoigne fans. You'll probably have heard the booing from the Lazio fans here for Dino Zoff as he walked away from the bench at the end. The substitution of Paul Gascoigne was as unpopular here as I'm sure it was back in England. I talked to a lot of the Italian sports journalists down in the Tribuna Stampa, though, and they were very much in agreement with Zoff's move. They felt that one-on-one, Gascoigne couldn't beat his man. He couldn't open up spaces for the team. And as even one Portly correspondent remarked, I am faster than Gascoigne. So judgment once again postponed for Paul. The journalists feel that he's not the Gascoigne they used to know. They feel it's probably because of the thigh injury, but it's another disappointment for him anyway. Back now to Peter Brackley for the full-time scores.
Yes, getting confirmation of the scores in now. Atalanta 0, Cremonese 0. Foggia 0, Cagliari 1, Valdez, that's his second goal in successive matches there. That was 10 minutes from time to give Cagliari that victory. Genoa 0, Napoli 0. Juventus have thrashed Reggiana 4-0. Ravanelli, Mola, Roberto Baggio and Del Piero, all those goals in the second half. Juventus 4, Reggiana 0. Milan 2, Roma 0, that's a full time now. And Albertini and Nava with his first goal for Milan, the scorers there. Albertini just before half-time, and then Nava on 70 minutes for Milan, who I'm sure are going to be out on top now tonight. Parma have beaten Torino by 3-0, and it's a hat-trick for the Colombian international Asprilla. 58 minutes, 66, and then a third goal just a minute from the end. And Udinese have been beaten at home by Sampdoria, 2-0. David Platt with his third goal for Samp this season, that on 54 minutes. And then the second from Roberto Mancini on 74. Udinese 0, Sampdoria 2. And tonight's match on live television in Italy is Piacenza against Lecce. So a look then at the top of Serie A, and there they are. Milan, the champions, out in front on 9 points ahead of Parma and Sampdoria, who both had victories today. Juventus also winners, and Torino, who were the leaders before, slipping today, so they're now on 7 points with Juventus. Inter on 6, Atalanta and Cremonese on 5. Top scorers, Gantz of Atalanta, Maurizio Gantz, and Andy Mola and Valdez of Cagliari, all on 4. Schilacci, Zola, Platt and Asprilla with 3 goals. So that's it, no goals, I'm afraid, in our featured match today. Lazio against Inter. Hopefully we'll have some for you next week. And of course, don't forget to round up all the news, all the goals from Serie A in Paul Gascoigne's programme next Sunday afternoon. But for now, from Ray Wilkins and myself, a very good afternoon.
The Channel 4 book, Football Italia, the official companion to the current season, with a foreword by Paul Gascoigne, is available from most bookshops and it costs £9.99.